Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren if you're new here. If you're not new and you're returning, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you. Today I thought it'd be fun to just do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury, and I decided I wanted to do this because I've actually been reaching for Charlotte Tilbury products quite a lot lately. So I thought, why not just do a little bit of a get ready with me on camera to show you kind of how I use them, the ones that I like, and the ones I don't love. There's a couple mixed in here that they're not my favorite products ever, but they work. They're good. But we'll talk about them. We'll talk about it. I don't want to spoil anything yet. So let's just get into it. I have a whole basket full of Charlotte Tilbury makeup, and I'm excited to use it. Again, I feel like I have been reaching for Charlotte Tilbury makeup quite a bit lately, and I think it's just because it's easy. Like it's so easy to use for the most part. There's a couple tricky items. We'll talk about them. Trust me, I promise. But let's get into the eye look, because when I just get ready on a normal day, I always start with my eyes first, just in case there's fallout. Not that I ever really need to worry about fallout with Charlotte Tilbury, which is the beautiful thing about her eyeshadows, but this is where we're going to begin. First, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with my MAC paint pot in Bare Study, because I don't know if she has an eye primer. I didn't see one. Oh, my eyes are so sparkly. I didn't see one. That doesn't mean she doesn't have one, but I think this may be a product that she doesn't have. So that's why we're starting with MAC. I know I said full face of Charlotte Tilbury. First thing I do is I go into a MAC product, but it is what it is, okay? She doesn't have it, she doesn't have it. But if she does, let me know in the comments below. With Charlotte Tilbury's eyeshadow, I have her quads, I have her long palettes, I have her cream pots. I am a big fan of her eyeshadow formula, and you know, I actually wasn't initially. I kind of stayed away from it, thought it was overpriced, and Charlotte Tilbury is still a luxury brand. You're still kind of paying a lot, but I kind of have fallen in love with her eyeshadow formula. I decided to pull out the Instant Eye palette Smokey Eyes Are Forever. I haven't reached for this palette in a while, but I do know that I like it quite a bit. This is what the inside looks like. And for her eyeshadow palettes, I've been pulling these out lately when I want something quick, easy, but still really beautiful, because I feel like the colors just are so gorgeous and they just work so well together. I mean, they do it on purpose, right? They group them together. They suggest these, you know, groups of 3. They're like, those are the ones you should use together, or use whatever you want. Today we're actually going to go into the green ones, which are Power Eyes. So I'm going to start with the matte here. But I just feel like I can trust them to perform well. And that means a lot, you know? Like, I like eyeshadow that I can depend on, especially if I'm in a rush. Because I work in accounting, sometimes the end of the month is just a little bit crazy. So I need something that I can kind of go into really quickly without worried about, without having to, you know, like worry about fallout, worry about the colors working together. It's just easy, and I love that. I also really fell in love with her cream pots last year. I don't have any in front of me right now. You're gonna see them when we organize my eyeshadow singles, because I've been needing to do that for quite a while. They're all over the place. But I really love the durability of them on my eyes throughout the day. Cream can go 2 ways. I have very oily eyelids. I talk about this in like all my videos. I have very oily eyelids, and they don't budge. They don't budge. Though I did find out when I use the Rare Beauty setting powder, that ruins my makeup. So I found out the hard way when using one of the cream shadows. I was like, wait, this isn't how it normally performs. So that was kind of an interesting work day. We have that on the upper part of our lids. I'm gonna go into this color here and just kind of fluff that out on the outer ends of the lids. And next we're gonna go into this really pretty green shimmer color and just put that all over the rest of my lid. Nothing too complicated, super easy. Poked myself in the eye. That was on me though. that green underneath the waterline as well. So the thing I love is if you have 5 minutes or 50 minutes, her eyeshadow is so easy to apply. I can put it on, I trust it, I don't have to be incredibly precise. They layer beautifully on top of each other, so I don't need to worry about any sort of muddiness. It's just, it works really, really well. So I do like her eyeshadow, but we are gonna move on. So I actually have, her liquid liner. I have the Feline Flick, which I just got in her mystery box and I haven't actually used yet. So this is kind of exciting. But I also have her Pillow Talk push-up lashes as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on real quick off camera, come right back, and we're gonna do the rest of the face. So that was the first time I've tried the liquid liner, and I actually liked it quite a bit. It went on real smooth. So yeah, I'm a fan. For the mascara, I've talked about this before. Her mascara is not my favorite type of mascara. I like things that have a little more volume, a little more va-va-voom-ish, and my MAC Stack really accomplishes those things. So while it's a good mascara, it's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely a good mascara in that it stays on throughout the day. There's no fallout on my face throughout the day. I do like it. And I do like this one. So this is the push-up lashes. I also used one of her eye pencils for the lower line. I used the, let's see, Green Lights Metallic Side. And this is actually a newfound love of mine. Her eye pencils, fantastic, fantastic. I've used up a black one and a brown one. And if you've been here before, you know I don't use up makeup incredibly quickly. But her eye pencils are so beautiful. The formula stays on, it's smooth, it's, you know, it stays on all day. I love it, I love it, it's great. So I have it in green, so this side is matte and this side is a shimmer, and it's great, it's fabulous, love it, love it, love it. Now let's move on to the rest of the face, and I will say, I know she has a face primer, I think she has 2, I double checked online. I don't have her face primer either. Apparently I don't have any of her primers. So I went ahead and used my Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer because it's in my project pan and I am determined to finish this little guy. And we are going to use the Beautiful Skin Foundation in the color 3 Neutral on my face. And the little tape means this one is also in my project pan. And I love this foundation. Now, what's really funny is that even though I love this foundation quite a bit, her other foundation she has, like her classic one that everyone like loves, I hate. It's the worst foundation I have ever tried. It made my skin look so old and aging, and it was, I thought it was me for the longest time, so I kept trying to use it. I was like, I'm gonna use this up. I'm gonna use it up. It's so expensive. I ended up throwing it away because it wasn't for me. But the Beautiful Skin Foundation, I really like. It's a little more full coverage than what I typically go for. I think it just does a great job really covering up everything on my skin. I can go in with one pump and feel like that's good. That's all I want. And I love it. So yeah. And it's in my project pan because it's like so close to being done. Like you can see through the packaging. I don't know if it's gonna catch on camera, but so close. Okay, I'm going into my T-zone with an extra pump just because I'm looking pretty pink today. But yeah, it does a great job covering up any blemishes, covering up my pinker areas, pinker points, if you will. And then it just wears really beautifully throughout the day too. I like this one quite a bit. I know it's been on sale for 25% off on her website, so if you are curious about it, it has mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people don't, but it really works well on my skin. Okay, next we have the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I have mine in the color 3 Fair. Now, I will always be honest with you as to if I like a product or not, because look, I'm not sponsored. Like, this is not a sponsored post. This is me just using the products that I bought with my own money. I'm a very tiny channel, so if you haven't, please subscribe. And this is actually a product that I don't love. I don't love it. It's a little thick, it's a little cakey for what I typically go for in a concealer. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I don't actually have another concealer from her. This is the only concealer I have. It does a good job concealing, but I just feel like if, you know, I go in with too heavy a hand, I look like not great. You know, it looks cakey, look like a birthday cake. So I'm trying to be careful going with a very light hand here. And it tends to work better like that. Just dry down pretty fast though, so just keep that in mind. It's just something that I need to keep using, I think, to really decide if it's gonna make it through my end of year declutter. I don't know, I need to use it more. Okay, now we're gonna go into the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish in Fair Medium. And let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the inside. I really enjoy this setting powder. I think this is a fabulous setting powder. I like it. Again, like, it's not falling into any of my fine lines. I'm in my mid-30s, so that's really important to me. I've had cakey makeup before. I've had cakey makeup from Charlotte Tilbury before, and it just looks so bad when it's cakey. So this stuff sets my makeup beautifully. Okay, next let's do some bronzer. I have a couple bronzers from her. I have actually, I think, every bronzer she's made, but today I wanted to pull out the Airbrush bronzer in the color 2 medium. I've tried the color 1, and the color 1 is actually a little too light for me in the powder formula, but it's also the one I have in the cream formula, interestingly enough, and it works great in the cream formula as one, but I just like it a little bit darker in the powder formula. And plus it's summer, so I like looking a little extra sun bronzed, right? Now with bronzers, I have that one that's in this container. That one's in my project pan. So I thought about pulling it out, but I've used it so much lately, and the packaging has just gotten real gross. It's like all oozy over the side. It's almost done. I've almost finished it, so I'm pretty proud of that, but it just won't die. It won't die. And I still can't decide if it's something I would repurchase or not. So that's kind of like my goal for when I finish up a product. Is it something I need in my life? Would I repurchase it? And I don't know for that one, but this one is an absolutely great powder bronzer. It never gets patchy. It's just beautiful. It gives like a great glow. So I do like this bronzer quite a bit. I really like the cream version that's in the pan as well. That one's really good as well. But the one that's in like this packaging, whatever, the wand packaging, I don't know, I go back and forth on that one. But that's the bronzer that I picked out for today. And then for my blush, I picked out my Instant Look in a Palette Sunset Dreamscape face palette. It has a bunch of stuff. I've traveled with this one quite a bit before, as you can hopefully see. It's got some work in it, but we're gonna go ahead and use this Cheek Pop. It is in the color Cheek Pop. I don't know if it has a color other than that. So that's the blush. And then we are gonna go into this Beauty Light wand in Pillow Talk for the highlighter. Now, how do we feel about the beauty wands? I feel like they get dirty. Just like opening them and closing them around this tip, I feel like they get dirty. Also, I think I just put way too much. I over squeezed that. Okay, hang on one sec while I clean this up. Let's hope I can get this to blend out okay. We went in with a really heavy hand. Okay. This is definitely the See Me From Space version. If you want to really be seen, this is the amount that you're gonna wanna put on. So yeah, be careful when you're squeezing this. I just thought it was so funny that so many brands were like, yes, the wand part is what we wanna duplicate because, you know, it's recognizable as Charlotte Tilbury. We're gonna make a bunch of wands. And I just don't love the wand applicator. I just think there are better ways to apply stuff, right? Oh, I'm gonna kind of diffuse it a little bit. Whew, does give you some shine though, doesn't it? And last what I pulled out is actually a newer product from Charlotte Tilbury. And this is the Airbrush Lip Cream, Maybe it's a cream? What are they calling this? Well, it's Airbrush Lip something something, and I have mine in the color Rose Blur. And the reason I decided to pull this one out rather than one of my older lipsticks from her is that I've been using it a lot. A lot. Now, this stuff will stay on your lips. It'll stay on. It looks amazing. It's not overly drying. I do notice that it tends to get a little dry throughout the day, so adding a lip oil on top of it helps. But it's fantastic. The color is beautiful. It's just a great formula. Like, this is great. I have this in two colors. I have this color and then I have the redder color, and I really like them quite a bit. So this is my full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup, and yeah, we kind of went through everything, whether I like it, whether it wasn't my favorite, but overall, Charlotte Tilbury is a luxury brand, and I do feel like a lot of pieces from her collections perform like luxury items. And you know, it's so disappointing when you buy something with that luxury price tag and it doesn't quite perform, but so many of her things perform so beautifully. So her eyeshadow formula is just absolutely great. Her setting powder is just, it's so good. Bronzers I love this foundation, and I cannot recommend the new Airbrush lip tints enough. Like, they're so good. It's just such a long-lasting formula, and I love that I don't have to reapply it throughout the day. I really don't. So it's been my favorite thing that she's come out with in a long while. So yeah, I thought this would just be fun to do, to kind of show you my opinion on some of her various expensive items. I would love to hear from you. Tell me, do you love Charlotte Tilbury? Is there a product that you always buy from her, will always buy from her, you're just obsessed with? I want to know. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!